found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. Love one another with a love like no other that we found in you. Love one another, yeah, love one another, that's what we'll do. We're alive to love one another. We're alive with love like no other. We're alive, we're sisters and brothers. We're alive to love one another.
Welcome to Story Lab. This week, we're taking a look at the story of someone who took on an epic building project. And it wasn't all smooth skiing.
Hey, I'm Carter.
And I'm Skylar.
We're talking about the way God created us to work with others.
And the things we can do better together.
Like help your friends dress appropriately. It's 67 degrees outside.
Right?
You know, a t-shirt, jeans, maybe even shorts.
I'm dressed aspirationally.
An aspiration is a strong desire to achieve something great.
It's March, and we have not gotten a single snow flurry this year. I'm aspiring to a snowstorm.
I don't think it works that way.
Thinking snowy thoughts, thinking snowy thoughts, thinking snowy thoughts. Did it work?
I don't need to look outside to say no.
Worst winter ever.
We can't make snow for us, but maybe we could create a snowy world for mini us.
Guess Mini-Me is gonna need a snowsuit.
Let's make it. You ever build a diorama?
A diode is a part of an electrical circuit, so...
Diorama.
Oh, a shoebox diorama.
Yeah, it's like we can design a tiny movie set for our Lego selves.
With all the snowy awesomeness we want.
In a diorama, you want to create layers and depth to make it look more realistic. A diorama can be a great way to show something you've learned about nature or from history.
Or just a really cool idea from your imagination.
Now, you start out by gathering your supplies.
You can use materials, stuff from a recycling bin, things from nature, anything really.
Yeah, we've got paint, we've got construction paper.
Ooh, scissors.
Scissors, we got hot glue, we've got tape,
Some rock things.
cotton balls, styrofoam, and a shoebox.
Which leads us to step 1. Paint the inside of a shoebox. You can make it night or day or even a dramatic sunset.
All right, first, Skylar, let's get some tissue paper on here. That sound good? Step 2, create your background. Now, we already tore up some construction paper and cardboard to make some mountains in separate layers.
Make sure you have a grown-up to help when you're using a hot glue gun. Now, we've got some mountains and shapes here.
And now, add some sticks. This is the part where you get to arrange everything just how you want, and then glue it down.
And then maybe we could put some hot glue down there and then we can add some rocks and stuff.
You know, our scene is really taking shape.
Yeah, but it's still missing the most important part.
Snow! Step 3, we're going to use a combination of white tissue paper, cotton balls, and crumpled up styrofoam to add the final touches.
This is all about using your imagination and creating the look that you want.
All right, are we ready?
Time to hit the slopes. The mountains are calling and I must go.
I'm just gonna hang over here and have some s'mores.
I couldn't have built all this without you.
Thanks. Hey, speaking of building, it's
time for
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the book of Nehemiah. In the beginning, God created a beautiful, perfect world, including us.
But when people turned away, God had a plan to restore us to relationship. God chose one man, Abraham, and promised to bless the whole world through his family.
Sometimes that family, the Israelites, listened to God.
But over and over, they broke their promises.
At last, the people were captured and taken to a foreign land.
But after 70 years, a new king allowed some of the people to return to their home Judah and the capital city of Jerusalem.
There, the people rebuilt God's temple,
But the city wall was still broken down, leaving the people open to enemy attack.
which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. While some of God's people had returned to Jerusalem, an Israelite named Nehemiah still lived in Persia and served as King Artaxerxes' drink taster. When Nehemiah heard from his brother that the wall of Jerusalem was broken down, he was so upset that he wept. For days Nehemiah ate nothing and cried out to God.
Lord, you are the God of heaven. You said, if you return to me, I will bring you back. Listen to the prayers of us all. Give me success today when I bring my request to King Artaxerxes.
After talking with God, Nehemiah made a bold move. He went directly to the king.
Why are you looking so sad?
The city of my people has been destroyed. Fire has burned up its gates.
What do you want?
If it pleases you, send me to Judah. Let me go to the city of Jerusalem. I want to rebuild it.
That request took some guts, but the king agreed to Nehemiah's request and even offered to send soldiers along for protection and supplies for rebuilding. The journey was nearly 1,000 miles and likely took months of travel, but at last, Nehemiah and the men with him arrived in Jerusalem. After surveying the full damage to the walls, Nehemiah gathered together the priests and officials and all the people.
You can see the trouble we're in. Let's rebuild the wall. Our gracious God has been helping me. The king has provided what we need.
Let's start rebuilding!
Huzzah! Yeah!
The people were excited and ready to get to work. But some officials from neighboring areas, including Sanballat and Tobiah, were not happy to hear the news.
What do you think you're doing?
Are you turning against the king?
The God of heaven will give us success.
The job facing Nehemiah and the Israelites was huge. The wall needed to be high and thick, and there were many gates to be repaired. And to top it off, few of the people, if any, were builders.
You priests start here at the sheep gate, and men of Jericho, you take the next section.
Each group or family was responsible for one section of the walls or gates, and quickly, that wall began to take shape.
Can they make their wall like new? The stones are piled like trash.
Yeah, suppose a fox climbs on their wall. That will break it down.
Nehemiah heard the mockery and cried out to God.
Oh God, please listen to our prayer. Some people hate us.
Soon, amazingly, the wall had reached nearly half its height. This enraged Sanballat, Tobiah, and other neighboring groups. They made plans to attack Jerusalem before the wall could be finished. Nehemiah heard about it.
Don't be afraid of your enemies. Remember the Lord. He is great and powerful. I want half of you to work and half of you to stand guard.
But we're so spread out. What if there's an attack?
When you hear the sound of the trumpet, join us there. Our God will fight for us.
Encouraged, the people returned to work, tools in hand, weapons at their sides. They lifted heavy stones and beams from the first light of sunrise until the stars came out at night. Sanballat and Tobiah tried even more tricks, but Nehemiah refused to be distracted. And somehow, impossibly, Nehemiah and the Israelites finished the entire wall in 52 days. They later celebrated together after reading aloud God's law.
This day is set apart to honor the Lord your God. Go and enjoy good food. The joy of the Lord makes you strong.
Nehemiah and God's people faced an incredibly difficult problem. The walls of Jerusalem had been broken down for nearly 100 years, and they had no experienced builders. But when they chose to work together and trust in God's help, they were able to complete a job that seemed impossible. The end.
Gotta confess, I get stressed out just putting together a bookcase.
But Nehemiah and the Israelites built a ginormous wall around a whole city,
In less than 2 months.
totally by hand.
It's an amazing thing to consider what they accomplished together.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, We were never meant to go it alone. God designed us to work together, to cooperate.
Cooperation is working together to do more than you can do alone.
One of the best times to cooperate is when there's a problem to solve. And it doesn't need to be a giant wall-sized problem either.
Maybe you want a place to play ball, but your backyard is full of weeds and brush.
You could work with your family or maybe even some friends to clear it out.
Or if you wish, the cafeteria had some better food choices for lunch.
You could invite your classmates and your teachers to write a note to the principal explaining why you'd all like to see a change.
Yeah, cooperating with others is not always easy, but it's important. Even Jesus, God's Son, chose to work together with everyday people.
Yeah, so if cooperating feels hard, ask God to give you courage and strength to cooperate.
Rather than trying to go it alone.
I think you got it. See you next time.
So, here's the thing. Work together to solve problems.
Who knows? You just might build something amazing. Only missing one thing.
What's that?
Snowball fight!
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab. See
you next
See you next time. Oh.
Where did these come from? What? I think our camera crew doesn't like us.
You know what I've been thinking?
Always, you were thinking that peanut butter is overrated.
Exactly. Why do you always know what I'm thinking?
Oh, we've been doing this show for years.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we have been doing this show a long time. And everything's the same. We're the same. The set is the same. The show's the same. Hey, maybe we should change things up a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do it.
All right, hey crew, set change.
To be honest, I liked it better the other way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Change it back. How many snaps can you do in 5 seconds? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good.
Hey everybody, I'm John.
I'm Brandon, and this is the So and So Show.
Brandon, do you ever feel like you're not wearing enough green?
Not usually, no. Why?
What about now?
Oh, it is not St. Patrick's today.
Ooh, but it's close. I'm trying to give you some practice, my friend.
Practice?
Oh!
Practice for what? Dodging your pincers?
No, making a quick change. Like so.
Oh, yeah. Practice is not what I need for that. What I need is someone who knows stuff.
Oh!
Somebody call for assistance?
I did! Come on in!
Come on in. Whoa! Whoa! She got a suitcase and everything. Oh, I bet you I know what's in there. That's cool.
You know what's in there?
I think I do. Come on up. Come on up. Tell us, who are you and what do you know?
Hi, my name's Angie, and I know all about theater costumes and quick changes.
Oh, that's very cool. Do you design costumes?
Sometimes, but mostly I'm a dresser. You know, the person backstage helping the actor during their quick change.
Oh, okay. And what's quick change?
Well, it's kind of like what it sounds like, you know. Sometimes during a play, the actors only have like a few seconds to change their costumes off stage in between scenes, and I'm one of the people that helps them get changed quickly so they can get back on stage in time.
That is so neat. You know, I never realized that so much was going on off stage. How did you do that?
It's a quick change.
Yeah, I see.
Oh. Do you guys want to learn how to make the magic happen?
Does theater end in the letter R?
That depends on who you ask.
What?
He means yes.
Of course I mean yes. What? Theater. I mean, what other letter would that people think it ends in? I.
So, one of the first tricks that dressers learn is pulling. See, you pull the skirt around and you leave an opening for the actor to step through. Now, the actor can pull the skirt up themselves, or their dresser can help.
Oh, efficient.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to have a friendly quick change competition?
Against you? Yeah, definitely not.
Oh, no. I was thinking between the two of you, one against the other.
Oh, that could be fun. Are you going to help us?
It wouldn't be a successful quick change without me.
Oh, no. I quick change myself.
Really?
Yeah, I change my clothes at least 3 times every morning. Yeah, there's no way that having someone else trying to stuff my arms into sleeve holes is faster than me doing it myself. I'm sorry.
All right, suit yourself. Literally. No, you get it. Suit yourself. Suit yourself. It's a pun.
That's funny.
All right, party people, it's showtime. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's find out who can do the most changes. And go!
Oh, come on! Seriously?
Done. All right, now, Brandon. Yes!
Woohoo!
Oh, rats!
Great job!
That was incredible.
Well, no, this is completely unfair. These were impossible. The shirt's made all wrong. Look.
It's actually called quick rigging. Hidden Velcro helps make the change faster.
You should have used a dresser.
It's definitely a team effort. The actor and dresser have to work together for a successful quick change.
Yeah, I'll say that was a nightmare on my own.
Hey, you know, there's one person who we could work with that would make this show even better.
Good thinking. It's Bible Story Time with Kellen!
Hey, fellas.
Kellen, my friend, my pal, my teammate. Work with us today, will you?
That's what I always do.
And you do it so beautifully.
Hey, what story do you have in mind for us today?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Today, we're going to learn from a book in the Old Testament called Nehemiah. The Israelites had been captured and taken to a place called Babylon. Nehemiah's story takes place soon after Israel's 70 years of exile in Babylon ended. Many of the Jewish people were still living in Babylon, including Nehemiah, but some of the Israelites returned home right away.
But Jerusalem wasn't the city they remembered.
Are we about to go
Behind the Bible? You guessed it. The walls around the city of Jerusalem were all broken down. The gates had been burned with fire, leaving the city unprotected from attack.
I was devastated when I heard the home of my people was in shambles. I just sat down and wept. I couldn't eat for days. I knew something had to be done. I prayed day and night, remembering God's promise to someday bring us back to Jerusalem. Then I asked God to give me success for what I had decided to do.
Nehemiah was the Persian king's wine taster. He asked the king to send him to Jerusalem so he could rebuild the walls. The king let him go, sending army officials and horsemen with him.
That was a pretty bold move by Nehemiah to ask the king. God gave him the success he prayed for, but that didn't mean the rest of his journey would be easy. And not everyone was happy to see him arriving in Jerusalem, like some of the officials of the neighboring lands.
Yeah, I live near Jerusalem. I was pretty upset when Nehemiah and his whole entourage showed up. Someone had come to help the Israelites.
One night after arriving, I took a few people with me to check out the walls around the city, see just how bad the damage was. And let me tell you, it was bad. But I had hope. I knew God was helping me, and the people I was with were helping too. When I told them my plan, they were all in. and started rebuilding the walls.
It was so funny. I mean, this guy seriously thought he could fix all that damage. Me and my friends could not stop laughing. We were like, what do you think you're doing? Honestly, we thought he was turning against the king. Turns out he wasn't, but it still gave us more reason to make fun of him.
But being made fun of didn't stop the Israelites. Everyone pitched in, and I mean everyone. And most of them weren't even builders. But every family or group of people, like all the priests for instance, took a section of the wall and they worked to rebuild it.
It was incredible. There were so many gates and towers and sections of the wall, and everyone worked together.
All of their cooperation and hard work paid off, but it made some other people pretty angry.
Yeah, it made us angry. What do you expect? I was all like, your stones are piled up like trash. And suppose a fox climbs on top. Even that will break it down. But none of that worked. They just kept on building together.
The people worked with all their heart until the wall was halfway completed. And when Sanballat and his friends heard about the progress, they made evil plans to attack the Israelites.
The Israelites were afraid, but they chose to remember how big and how powerful God is. Then Nehemiah came up with a plan for half of the people to keep working on the wall, while the other half stood on guard against the enemy attack.
I had everyone keep their weapons on them at all times just to be safe. And it worked. The wall was built higher and thicker and continued to get repaired.
I tried this, I tried that, I tried this. They even had a trumpet, so they'd all know if we attacked. There was no stopping them.
The Israelites finished the wall in an unbelievable 52 days, and Nehemiah celebrated with all the people. The wall of Jerusalem was repaired. This has been Behind the Bible.
Wow, talk about cooperation.
Yep, Nehemiah would have never been able to fix that wall all by himself. It had huge problems. It was full of holes and broken pieces. But together, they worked and they trusted that God could do something that seemed impossible.
I love that. Even in the face of some pretty mean enemies, too.
Totally. All that taunting could have split up the Israelites, but they stuck together and they finished the job in record time.
That is so epic. Hey, thanks, Kellen.
You're welcome. And hey, since I kind of can't resist working together one more time after that inspiring story, reveal the question.
Oh, yeah. How has someone helped you solve problems?
Maybe you accidentally broke a favorite toy and one of your parents helped you fix it.
Yeah, or you needed help understanding some homework and someone helped explain it to you in a new way that finally made sense.
Or maybe you got help during a theater performance with your costume changes.
Hey, exactly. Did Angie help you with that costume change?
I sure did.
Thanks, Angie.
No problem.
So how has someone helped you solve problems? Talk it out, and we'll see you next time. I'm Brandon.
I'm John.
And I'm Angie.
And this was
The So-and-So Show.
Bye, everybody. Oh, sorry.
Just kidding. Ta-da. Oh. No. I got it. No, I got it. I got it. Oh, shoes!